Hi guys, welcome back to Sweden or Bust. Now then. Man, this has been a bastard of a day, and I'll tell you why. Basically, I obviously save at the end of each month so I can come to the exact right point when doing these videos. Obviously, I can't play too many months at a time because my computer's fucking awful. Which makes it easier, and that way I can go back and check stuff if I need to, which means I've got a lot of save files. Now, what happened this time is that you remember the last episode, we were in around about November. Now, I spent ages looking at players and going through signings and doing God knows what else for about 2 or 3 hours this morning. And eventually we got round to about February. And right before our first pre-season friendly with the brand new team, I thought, right, I'll probably best save this soon just to make sure, because we've gone through quite a few months. I go to play the friendly and the game crashes. That's the first time in the entirety of Football Manager 14 the game has crashed for me, and it's probably the worst time, which means I've had to go and sit there for the last... I've had to do the whole thing again, so it's taken me like 6 hours to do this thing. It was... Actually, no, I say 6 hours. It was quicker the second time around because I knew what players I was going after, and thankfully I was given a lot of help on this one, as you guys will see. Now, I had some great tips in the comments about what players to go after, and it made my scouting a little bit easier. In fact, a hell of a lot easier, because some of my scouts can be pretty damn useless. So that is one. Although, we do have a new scout, and I want to talk about this a little bit before I get into the new players that we've signed, because where is he? Where are you? Scouts. Here we go. This is Rami Shaban. Now, I'm pretty certain, yeah, he won 16 caps for Sweden. I'm pretty certain he was at Arsenal around about sort of 01, 02, maybe 03. Or certainly he definitely had some part of his career was at Arsenal. Oh, 03, 04, here we go. Only ever played a couple of games. But what I remember about him is that this was back when I was at school, and I mean like proper young at school, like just started secondary school kind of at school. And I just remember everyone going around saying Shaban in a really weird way, and it just triggered something in my head. And I've got our what's the word, like director of football set to go and find people like scouts and coaches for me, because it's just easier for me. And then when he signed him, I thought, brilliant. It just brought back all kinds of weird nostalgic memories. Anyway, that's enough about Nostalgia Lane. I also got Glenn Hyson to be a coach, so there's that. So that's for you, Carl. We did also try and go after his son, but it was not available. Anyway, now to go and talk about transfers, because I had a big old list, which I was kindly provided with some great players to go look at, some of which were a little bit... Well, actually, I say that. We could afford all of them because we had 3 million quid. The main problem was not so much being able to afford them, it was their willingness to come here. And the main thing about this is that there was one guy from AIK... Milosevic, I think it's Milosevic, central defender, big dude, refused to come, couldn't even get an answer as to how much he would want in money. And we had the same problem with, oh god, what was his name, the defender from Malmö. There's a defender from Malmö that we had the same problem with as well, so that was annoying. But I have managed to make some signings, and quite a few, and I'm pretty damn proud of them. So we were here. We had made these signings. Now, we've spent quite a bit of money here, but I feel that it's definitely useful. The first signing we made, we got Emil Bergstrom. Now, he's a central defender. He was sort of one of my later choices in that role, but he's got a lot of potential, plus he can play, in theory, either side, but I wouldn't trust him on the left. Defensive midfield, and, well, essentially, yeah, centre midfield too, so he's decent. I think he could be a good player. We managed to pick him up for 375,000 from Jules Gordon, who, well, I'll tell you what happened to Jules Gordon. The first time I played this, they got relegated in the relegation playoff against Sundsvall. However, when I had to redo it all, they actually won the relegation playoff, so they in fact stayed up, which didn't actually affect my ability to get him though, which was kind of key. We've then gone and, unfortunately, there was some discontent among the fans on us signing him because Jules Gordon are a rival, and they didn't like that. Yet they were quite happy for me to sign Simon Gustafsson from Häcken, so that doesn't make much sense to me. He's not great at the moment. He's more of a fill-in player there, but he could be, and he's got some potential. We paid 700,000 for him. It's a lot, but we did need that backup in that midfield now. We definitely needed it. Another guy we were able to bring in is Ludwig Ullmann. Oh man, his name sounds like someone orgasming, and I like that. That is the kind of guy I want in the centre of my defence. Again, he's young, got a decent amount of potential, and we managed to pick him up for, what was it? 200k. That's annoying, because when I actually got him on the previous version of this, we got him for like 115k, something like that, or 120. It was just over 100k because things had gone further along the line, which is a pain in the ass. Whereas when I obviously had to redo this, I knew what players I wanted, so I just went and got them the moment the save loaded. We also, from the list that I was given, managed to pick up Christopher Niemann. We will come back and talk about Mălăc. Christopher Niemann. Now, he is a striker. He's decent at the moment. He's certainly better than Engvall currently is. And he could give Zahora a run for his money. So he's a decent young player. We picked him up for £500,000 off of Norrköping, which is cool. Obviously, we had Rasmus Schüller, which is coming in from HJK. He's just another midfielder, but we showed you him before. He should fit in nicely here because he's already modelling the kit. I know that's HJK's kit, but perfect. Nothing has to change. He could just play in that kit, we'll be fine. We also signed, so those were the players, basically, that I was told about. There were others in there too, but these are the ones I was able to get hold of. So we've got Christopher Niemann, Ullmann, Gustafsson, and Bergström. Those are the ones I was able to pick up. Now, I did pick up a couple of my own, because I had a plan. A plan was emerging from the depths. Now, this one was just one of those ones that I see in the scouting report and think, yeah, we'll get him. This is Joachim Kosonen. He's from Finland. We got him off of, is it pronounced... Right, here's the thing. Anyone who likes Finnish football, is it MyPa or is it MYPA? I know that it's short for that, which, to be honest... Hang on a minute. Milikosken Palo 47. I like that. It sounds a little bit like some kind of organic chemistry name. Some kind of obscure element. But yeah, so we got him from... Are they called MyPa? Or is it MYPA? Somebody let me know. Because a lot of Finnish clubs, I notice, have got very similar acronyms because they've got massively long names. I see a few in Sweden. Mostly it's Finnish clubs I've seen. So yeah, we picked him up. He has got a lot of potential. Oh. Bastards! That's what you get for not checking what they like when they actually get to the club. He was 4.5 stars. Piss it. We paid 100k for him. You better get better. He's an attacking midfielder though, so there's always hope for him yet. We also picked up Ivo Pekalski, who I saw him and I thought, you know what? He's youngish. A lot of potential still, despite being 24. I really hope he can actually start fulfilling that. I'm trying to think of who did we get him off of? We got him off of Häcken again. We've gone really raiding Häcken. And we also dipped into the Norwegian league to get this guy, Thomas Mălăc, or Mălăc. He's Slovakian. We got him from Rosenborg. He is on a fair old whack of money, though. And there's a couple of things I like about him a lot. He can play that target man role, which is brilliant, because although we've been using an advanced forward, look at this. Jumping reach, 19. This guy could literally jump into another stadium. I love it. It doesn't really hinder in the fact that he's 2 meters tall. I don't know how much that is in feet, but that sounds like we're talking big, like can't see his toes because of the clouds kind of tall, and that's good. It's basically big man up front, Peter Crouch style. Finishing is also 16, first touch 15, off the ball and leadership brilliant as well. Anticipation excellent, teamwork and work rate not bad either. He's a damn decent player. Quite strong, reasonably strong. Bravery, he's not very brave, which is odd considering everything else, but that's just one of those weird little permeations of Football Manager. Well, I guess it's not, because he's not even a regen, but it's just one of those things, I guess. Someone doesn't think you're brave, Thomas. Prove them wrong. Wrestle a lion or something. You know, do it need to be done. I think he could be quite decent for us, because I noticed that a lot of our goals were being scored from crosses to people like Zahora, and Zahora wasn't as good in the air as this. And I think if we could maybe now change our tactic to float crosses, I think this guy could really benefit from that and actually could be quite prolific for us. Now, don't think I've forgotten about Gustav Engvall, because I haven't. He is going to be at the club, and he's pretty much our second choice striker, although Neiman is going to give him a run for it as well. So we've got a few that we can rotate, which is why I went ahead and changed our tactics slightly. Now then, not that, that's, yeah. We've changed, well, obviously that too, right. So this is obviously our standard tactic. Let's just do a quick pick. Obviously it's not going to do anything particularly, well, actually, no, there's a lot of changes that would be made, I would make before a real game because of fitness levels and whatnot. But things we've changed, right? Well, I was going to anyway. I haven't changed that yet, but I thought I did. Oh, it's because of the bloody. Right, I did when I did the save the previous time round, because I actually got Mălăc then as well, and I went back and got him again because he was so good for the money. Yeah, so what I did was I took off shoot on sight because we were having a lot of shots last season, but not a lot of goals, and I think that's because we were shooting from massively far out, and it was causing us all kinds of problems. Whereas if we got a bit closer, maybe get a bit closer to goal, create better opportunities and get the goals. The other thing I wanted to change was put float crosses on, because if we can hang the ball up for him from people like Smedberg, Dallas and Goossens, Mălăc should be able to absolutely whack those headers into the net. I'm pretty confident that he can do that kind of thing for us. Now, that's that. However, the other thing I'm looking at is a potential change of formation that we could use maybe in games where we're at home and where we really do want to dominate. And that is this, the 3-5-2 kind of system, where we're playing three centre-backs. So in this case, it'll be Erman, Biersmir and Bergström. But then a flat five midfield with Smedberg, Dalens, Pekalski, in this case, Gustafsson, Hagland, probably not. Although maybe. He's not bad, Hagland, now that he's playing in a role he likes. And then Goossens. But then we'd be able to play two up top with a sort of deep lying forward and an advanced forward. So, although I'd be tempted to flip those round so that it's hard to tell. Engvall would come short and maybe play balls over the top to Mălăc, whereas if we had a target man here, Mălăc would be the target man and he could flick the ball on to Engvall, so sort of like almost being like there but without being an attacking midfielder, just dropping off slightly. I wish you could put pairs in those positions to sort of illustrate that he's actually playing in behind the striker but not as an attacking midfielder. That's something I'd like to see on Football Manager. A bit more variation in the potential positions. You could literally put them in specific areas, like more options on that. That'd be good to see. So that is basically the way we're going to be lining up this. Well, most of the time it'll be this, but for some games I feel we could try that out. It's certainly worth a go. So that is basically that. We've got a lot of players that have gone out on loan, as you'll have probably seen from our transfer history page. A shitload. We also got rid of Malik Mane because he just wasn't going to get a game for us, and basically gave us 120k. I actually sold him for more than that the first time round, which was annoying. And I did get rid of Soren Riex the first time round as well, but I couldn't do it this time. No one wanted him. And the reason I wanted to get rid of Soren Riex is because we've got a lot of quality on that left side, and I just didn't think he was going to get much of a game for us. But I've changed my mind a little bit now about that, because originally my intention was to play that 3-5-2 formation as a sort of standard, and obviously Riex is preferred to be up here, but now he and Goossens probably could do with having him on the team. So that is about that. Now, we were in the Champions League this year. Not yet, we're not. But we are expected to win the title this year. I basically said, give me all the money you can and I will bring the title home. And I think we can do that again this year without much of a problem. It's going to be the Champions League that's going to cause us the big problems. Hopefully we can get into the group stages, who knows. But at the very least, get to a situation where we drop out into the Europa League and can have a good little run there. But I'd love to get into the Champions League group stages, because think of the money we would earn in television rights for those games and some of the teams we'd get to play against. It'd be cool. Even if we got battered every game, it'd just be great to play against some of those teams. So, in the next episode, because of the way that this is kind of planned out and the way the Swedish League works, I'm actually going to come back not particularly far away from here, which will be after this game against Värnamo, because it's like that little mini section is done, although it might be after the Ilves game, I don't know. It will come back before the start of the Allsvenskan season, basically. So we've got Syrianska in the Cup, and we've got Helsingborg in the Super Cup, and I'm guessing they got into the Super Cup because they came second in the league since we did the double. Nybergsund in a friendly, and we've got GAIS, who I now know are from Goteborg as well, and that is why they share the stadium. In fact, apparently, the stadium is also shared with Örgryte, who are a lower division side, and also Häcken, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not, because I read initially that 4 clubs share the Gamla Ullevi Stadium, so that's... I did a little bit of research after reading some comments. But yeah, so that one's pretty much going to be a home game. Well, it is a home game anyway. But it may as well be... Yeah, surely that's... Here's a question. When we play against GAIS in the league this year, and we're away, are we still technically at home? Yeah, interesting. Unfortunately, hopefully we'll still get a home advantage for that one. Well, you know what I mean, like, in theory. I'd like to think we can get through that group, though. We should. I'm tempted to try out that new 3-5-2 against Syrianska, just because they're probably the weakest side in here. So maybe just test it, and if it doesn't go right, we'll bring in some other system after that. Who knows? But yeah, so that's where we're going to come back. We'll come back just before the season, and we'll see how we did in the Svenska Cupen. It'll probably be quite a short episode, but you'll get to see a highlight of a game, so there's that, which you missed out on this one, because there's basically not been any games worth showing highlights of. Obviously, there's the friendlies, but I didn't even actually play those. My assistant took charge of the friendlies. So, if you like what you've seen, hit that like button, and if you liked even more than that, hit the subscribe button. And until next time, I will see you guys then. Bye-bye.